So I recently spoke with two of my mortgage lending companies that I work with, and they both told me that they're no longer doing new construction loans. And I was interested in looking at these products because I was interested in possibly doing a owner occupied quadplex where I live in one of the units, rent out the other units, or just doing a single family home and I convert the basement into an Airbnb with a kitchen and a bathroom and everything like that. But they told me with supply issues and the cost for home builders, they are no longer offering these products. And I thought this was interesting because I feel like this can affect us wholesalers or just any real estate investor. So what does this mean? And so I dived in, I did my research, and I came across two articles that I'm going to share with you all, share my screen with you all, and we can discuss it together just about what home builders are doing right now about new construction, the problems they're facing, and how some of them are actually reducing the prices despite even paying more for them because of higher interest rates, other things like that. So be sure to like this video, subscribe, comment down below, and let's talk about some new construction and how it affects wholesaling real estate. All right, so I'm on this Market Watch article, and right here they talked about 5 factors that drive the cost of new homes, and all of them are squeezing builders and buyers now. And right here, this is very interesting. They say builders are feeling a little gloomy. In its July survey, the National Association of Home Builders found that 13% of builders said they were cutting home prices in June to bolster sales or to stem the flow of cancellation. So this is interesting because you have builders with the higher cost of everything actually cutting costs, cutting the prices of their new construction homes because homeowners are tight right now. First of all, because of higher interest rates. These prices are super high. It's still a shock for a lot of sellers to see for a new construction home, $400,000 in some areas. I know even here in Tennessee, that can be a shocker in some counties. They used to have problems with just keeping hold of their new construction homes. Now they have some new construction homes that are sitting on the market. And so what does that mean for us? Like, one thing that I think about with wholesaling is wholesaling land. Is this going to affect us from moving a deal because a home builder doesn't want to get into new construction right now? Or is it going to help us because they're trying to still build new houses because there's still a supply issue? There's still a high demand for homes at the moment. So let's just read over this article. Building a home is a complicated business, right? And it's just crazy because the government does something. It affects home builders, then it affects the homeowners and the renters. And so right here, they went over the 5 L's of home building with this Market Watch. So one thing that home builders are facing is labor. Not only are they short in labor, people who are wanting to work want a higher price because they need a higher price because of inflation. Someone's not going to work for someone for $15 an hour anymore. That's long gone. Like, if you're in this field, you're wanting at least $30 an hour, which is right here, because you have to pay for gas, you have to pay for food and everything like that and take care of your family. And they said the construction industry needs 650,000 more workers on top of the normal pace of hiring to meet demand this year. And they need 590 next year. Crazy. Next thing is materials. So lumber prices remain elevated. They've been on a wild ride, but overall the increase in lumber prices have added over $14,000 to the price tag of an average new single family home. That's $14K more to build a house because of lumber, even at its current price, right? Yes, it has gone super up. It went kind of down, but it's still higher than normal. Next thing they talked about was lending, right? Interest rates affect home builders and developers' borrowing costs because not only do the homeowner need lending to buy a house, home builders, they're not using their own funds. They're borrowing money to build, to hire, and to do all these things. Interest rates on those are increasing, right? The demand impact is obvious. Higher mortgage rates are pushing would-be homeowners, talking about homeowners now. That's also affecting demand, which in turn slows home builders' business. And so they're talking about that. The lending, it affects the builder because their cost to carry that loan is higher. And then it affects the people they want to sell to because those people, the cost to buy the house is even higher because of the loan. So it's just like a two-edged sword with higher interest rates in this market. All right, so laws. So there's a lot of new zoning information. You have to go through all these things, especially in different areas. And then right before the recession happened, home builders built too much homes, right? And so after the recession, the government came in and they started restricting, like the zoning and everything like that, what type of houses you can build. And those laws still are in effect today, which affect homeowners from building properties to meet the current demand. And so lots and land. So this is where we come in. So lastly, builders need developed lots to build on, but there's been a shortage of that. And so if you're a land wholesaler, this is your time to pounce at the opportunity of selling developed land to these builders. 76% of builders reported that the overall supply of developed lots areas was low to very low, which is an all-time record. And yes, there are just regular land, but I guess they're looking for developed land, something that's more clean. It's just not a bunch of bushes and trees and other things like that. So this article was just talking about the 5 factors and how some home builders are, adjusting to the market by lowering their price so they can just get rid of their inventory. So let's go on to CNBC. So right here, just the key points: sales of newly built home fell 8% in June, prior to the month, 17% lower than June of 2021. So sales, the amount of sales they're getting is lower. Inventory also rose 9.3 months supply, up from 5.6 months supply at the end of last year. Executives at major builders are saying they have to respond more quickly to the sudden turnaround in the market, in part by boosting incentives. Here again, you have these builders, sales are going down for them, and they're holding on to more houses, new constructions, because of higher interest rate, because of all of this going on in the market. This article is very similar to the article that we just read. It says we have to work harder to sell homes. We have to be more nimble. Home price appreciation has slowed, stopped, or through the use of incentives. It's taking a couple of steps back. Through much of the second quarter, incentives were mostly tied to the mortgage, but this is now expanding to include discounts on options and lot premiums and other things like that. Buyers are still seeing sticker shock, so that's still an issue. Interest rates are in the high 5%, and prices for existing homes are starting to come back to earth. And so people may be looking at already existing houses for that. So what do you all think of this information about new construction? Are you going to pounce on this opportunity now to make a living or wholesale land? Let me know down below in the comments. And I hope you all like this style, kind of just looking at the real estate market as a whole, real estate investing as a whole, not trying to just specifically talk about wholesaling. But of course, I have to mention wholesaling with this and everything like that. So hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll talk to you all later.